What's the story, guys?
Hey man, oh yeah.
How you doing? What's up?
Got it.
How's it going? Oh Jesus, guys! I'm telling you, like this is. It's great we can do this, but like it's so frustrating sometimes to try and get things done swimmingly. You see me.
And that's what it is.
You see me on stage, doing the MC, and it's way easier than doing the live stuff. But anyway, it's not about me. It's about you guys. How are you guys
You're
keeping?
dancing when you're doing that, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm doing a little bit of jigging. I got the smoke machine to block me as well, so there's a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on, but
That's a good point, actually. I was hoping we'd see a bit of that today, Dave. What do you reckon?
yeah. I mean, see, the thing is, it's not even my smoke machine, so I was.
Come on, we get the ratings up. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's all about.
We'll do a
so-
bit. What you fancy doing, Spud?
Just like we practice, Leigh.
I haven't seen Spud in about 3 months, have you?
No way. So this is like a total reunion for you.
Woo!
Amazing. So we spoke a little bit, Leigh, in yesterday. We were doing our sound check. So, Stephen, how are you keeping, brother? How's things been going for you? I haven't talked to you in a while myself.
Yeah, listen, good man. Thanks for that. Yeah, like us all, just trying to stay sane and safe and all the rest of it. But good. Yeah, trying to got my practice pad over here actually, which has been getting me by a little bit with the lack of drums in the last little while because they're locked up in a storage place somewhere. So, but yeah, good.
Good, good. No, it's hard. It's hard without the drums, man. I'm the same. Like as a drummer, I haven't touched them myself. But you're actually doing practice pad stuff, which is more than what I'm doing. I haven't literally touched a pair of sticks in 2 months, which is quite unfortunate. And Leigh, what about yourself, man? So you, as the main songwriter and singer, I suppose you have everything you need at home, right?
Everything I need. There's no lockdown for me. There's no quarantine. There's no pandemic. I'm exactly the same as I was before the country fell apart.
Is it actually you were pretty much, because that's what a lot of singer-songwriters would have. Obviously, you're at home, bunkered down and writing, right?
Pretty much, and when you're full time on it, you've no real regime. So it's normality to me. It's in fact it was better in a way. It just streamlined all the stuff that I needed to get done, wanted to do, write more. Totally streamlined now. So we've a huge kind of back catalogue of things just ready to go, pretty much.
Oh, that's awesome. And have you heard stuff, Stephen, as well from Leigh, from Leigh's work over the past?
Absolutely. There's a constant stream of stuff coming through to us, kind of process is, I'm sure Leigh will talk a little bit more about this, but the process kind of goes something along the lines of, Leigh kind of comes with the raw material and that type of thing. And then, we'll have a go through it, throw back some suggestions, and, it's all been done through video chat, through WhatsApp, through Dropbox, all that kind of stuff at the moment. But I mean, that's not, as Leigh said there, it's not widely different to what we'd be doing anyway, so. What
is your songwriting process, Leigh? Like, can you tell us a little bit about sort of how it works, and like, do you start off instrumentally, or do you start off writing lyrics and then, or is it different every time?
Oh, it's different every time. Sure, I have the producer's brain, so I have multi genres going on. How can you work this into that? And normally, of late, I just melody, something will go on. I'd hear a melody, and I'd have to stick it down on my phone. There's probably thousands of these things still on my phone. I haven't gone through yet, but that's pretty much how it works. You hear a melody and then you get back, and because I've been 10 years kind of producing, you kind of know the foundation down to that, and then you kind of put in, pick out whatever. But that's, I would say I'd start off with some sort of melody, whether it goes into vocals or whether it goes into like a synth or something. But I like the songs now with tapped anyway, just to have a kind of driving force of just so it gets basically embedded in the brain, If I'm humming it back hours later and days later, then I hope that other people are too.
And how do you transfer that? Let's say the melody. Let's say because you use like digital software, you use Ableton or you use something like that to kind of MIDI.
I'm on Ableton. Yeah, I've been using it for nearly 10 years now. Really stray away from it.
Yeah, it's great. I use it myself. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, great for production. But I kind of got set in my ways with Ableton because I kind of know what to do here now. I wouldn't really be bothered paying 100 grand on all the latest toys. I kind of have an ear, and if I can manipulate the sound in there, and there's someone else who's going to help me elsewhere achieve it.
Yeah,
basically,
it's great.
Once you can hear it in your ear, I think you're all right.
Yeah, I like all the MIDI files and the patches you can use, right? There's so many options, so then you can transfer that. And I guess someone like Stephen, obviously yourself, you get a better idea of sort of what the song entails and stuff like that. So it's great to send even demos, right? Ideas and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
To the rest
absolutely.
of the
As I said, there's a kind of there's an ever kind of growing Dropbox of stuff there, that Leigh is sending through, and I suppose we're quite lucky in that myself and Leigh, we've worked together for 10, 11, 12 years now on more projects than this.
Wow.
But that's always been kind of the process in in general terms. So yeah, it's kind of just the way we're used to working, and I suppose I'm very fortunate in that. 9 times out of 10, a track will come through, and 60, 70, 80% of it is what I would sit down at a drum kit and play, minus maybe some of the finishing touches or whatever, but that's the stuff that we get into the room and we'll kind of work and talk about and work through. So yeah, it's quite an organic process, to use a buzzword, but it truly is in our case, I think.
Yeah, and you use samples as well live sometimes too, right? You have a sample pad, which is great as well. It kind of gives that full live sound, right? So what Leigh, you would record samples and stuff like that, and then you would put them into the samples.
Yeah, I've a library, like thousands, 10,000 of drum samples alone. So yeah, we put them in, and he's working on a thing now that you can actually record it in live, but obviously you trigger first and blah blah blah.
There's a million, it's a whole
so many ways to do it, pretty much.
Yeah, it's a whole other kind of animal, I suppose, and we're feeling that out as we go, to be honest with you. But I mean, the way we've always kind of worked, we've had electronic sounds coming in, and we've just been kind of always playing around with the best way to get that across live, so that what you're hearing on the recordings, is the production value in its essence, and then when you come see us live, we like to bring a bit more to that as well. But you're not losing any of that production when you come see us. If anything, you're
totally see that
50% more.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like when I see you guys live, every time I've seen you live, you know what I mean. And obviously that goes to show, because obviously we did the Crystal Skull session, the competition, right? So that obviously shows, but it's been like listening to a recording, but then you're getting the live energy as well on top of it, so you're getting you're getting, because a lot of stuff gets lost, right, from production to things. So you guys are really onto something great with that, and I suppose it is because of your production, your years in production. Like, how did you get into that, Leigh, and how did you get into music anyway? I'd love to know. I never asked you that.
I suppose it's with anyone. You start with the first kind of single you buy that you kind of get into. I think it was Atomic Kitten and the Bloodhound Gang or something like that.
Yeah, I would have been on the same lines, to be honest. Yeah.
Atomic Kitten, all right.
Probably, Spice Girls or something. Britney Spears.
That's a mashup I hope has happened. I don't know if it has, but I'd love to hear that.
Kerry Katona is a bit more edge for me, but anyway.
True.
Yeah. Then you kind of fall into Nirvana and you go, all right, okay, I kind of want to do that. So then I started basically ripping my voice. I was just screaming at the stereo. And obviously I looked up who it was and blah, 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 and I started guitar not long after that. And I suppose the rest is history. I'd say all my teenage years would have been metal. It would have been just metal. I think I went to kind of Eminem, a small bit of hip hop, and then I was gone. It was Korn, and then when I heard Pantera, I was lost for 10 years. I was totally gone. But just through meeting other friends with different kind of music taste or whatever. Obviously, I met Smiley, who and he kind of got me into hip hop a little bit more. And I'm like, all right, I actually can't make this sound with what I know, which is 2 guitars, a bass, and a drum kit. So I just researched how to make these types of sounds. Ableton, things like that came up. I downloaded a version and I just got working. And I was pretty much 5 years, just some tutorials here and there. But that's how I got into it. And then once you kind of find your groove, once you get past that learning curve, it's addictive, to be honest.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Once
therapy,
there is a steep learning curve at the start, isn't there? For
quite, yeah.
Yeah, and then once you get the hang of it, and you'll always learn something a little bit new anyway, isn't it? After a while, probably.
Always,
kind of little bits.
Always, yeah.
How did you? So you didn't have any singing practice or anything like that. Your voice just kind of came out naturally.
Never, yeah.
It's great, man.
Ripped it for well, thank you. Well, I don't know if that's the 10 years of screaming beforehand, but yeah, it came out well.
It came out well.
You treat it like a muscle, don't you?
I guess so, man. Yeah. I mean, I've tried to sing myself, and it just wasn't. I don't know. Maybe I haven't given enough dedication. You do really need to have.
You're not doing enough reps, Dave.
I'm not, man. I'm not. I'm lazy. I'm lazy. I'm not gonna lie to
You're
you guys.
lazy.
Yeah, I, just,
You
I
can
like
only-
doing other things.
You can only see like, I don't know, 1/4 a day right now. Eventually you get to 3/4, but fully working out, man. So you got weights in each hand and stuff you got going on there, and some feet.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's probably a bit of dysmorphia to come along.
Oh,
with it,
really?
of course. Yeah.
He's sitting in a rowing machine right now. Just you can't see it.
Yeah, no, it's interesting, like how people sort of have developed as musicians and artists,
Into
over
it,
the
yeah.
years and stuff. And there's a lot of obsession tied in with it, right? How they get to a
Loads,
certain
yeah.
level, like. So you do have to
Yeah,
have
yeah.
that commitment, and did you know kind of like, so you obviously grew through a lot of genres, as you're saying, and right now are you kind
Yeah.
of like, are you kind of, have you found the sound that you are looking for now? Are you happy with kind of where you're at, or you're still ever seeking that progression?
I've never been one to sit. I'll take an element of trap and I think it has to be catchy, and it has to, the live show. It's the same thing. Like I don't know why people will put things out and someone wouldn't go, fuck, to the kind of, even down to the video or whatever. But it always has to pack a punch, always, no matter how soft we go.
Yeah.
It has to pack a punch, and it has to make you nod your head or feel good or feel nostalgic, whatever.
Yeah.
Feels-
And
anyways.
just coming back to the point there, with the kind of the roots, if you like, from Leigh's point of view. I mean, I would share the same, with the same influences by and large as well. And however far along the journey we come with these electronic sounds and production stuff and whatever else, we found we'll always come back in some shape or form to having, there's no replacement for us for having some live element to your show and having, a band in some form on the stage, to complement what's going on. And definitely that, for me anyway, has always been the draw, and for that to kind of make it more emotive when you come see the show live, for us that's the draw, and that's the value that people get, and that's the fun that we get from it too, so it's all
Yeah.
a good point, definitely.
We probably have metal to thank for that, I imagine. I mean, we bring friends who be Ed Sheeran fans to a metal show, and a metal show, to an Ed Sheeran fan, they're just screaming on stage and blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, but look at the passion, look at the energy there. It's pretty unrivaled. Like, I mean, if you at a battle of the bands, if you put a metal band against, I mean, the energy is there's second to none. Like,
I agree, man, and you can see that in your guys, even as individual musicians. Like I see Stephen, like even you at the drums behind, man, and you are giving it, like you are very, like, I was going to swing my arms and start knocking stuff over now, but you're very emotive with your drumming as well, and very deliberate with your hits and stuff, and that is quite. You can relate that to a metal drummer, you know what I mean? In a way, they're very. So I can't think of the brain's not awake yet. But the word to describe that, right? But whatever, exaggerative, I suppose, right?
Deliberate, Dave, is a good word, because different styles obviously demand different things. But I've always kind of my go-to as a style of drumming, if you like, is kind of like that. It's quite linear, I suppose, and to be honest, that that suits 9 times out of 10 what as I said, Leigh will come to me with a raw idea in the first place anyway. And we're nearly always quite quickly able to slot that in, and it just creates a fun environment for everyone, because the other guys, Keith and Dave, they're able to lock in with what we're doing as well fairly quickly. So yeah, it just works great, and it's great.
What was I going to say to you? So with regard to, obviously that's your live show, and then you guys do a lot of music videos. You have done you've done some really good quality, well thought out music videos, and one of your most recent ones was shot in the Wicklow Mountains. Can you tell us a little bit, because I spoke to you about this in the smoking area in Shinay briefly, but can you tell tell the viewers, I guess, your experience with that? Because I think I honestly thought it was awesome. I thought it was a great idea. I think it came out really well, and to put in that effort and to take that risk, even because obviously there's risks. To do something like that, right? For many reasons.
We could have fell off the mountain. We almost.
That's what I'm thinking. First and foremost, you could have fallen off the thing. But tell us a little bit about that process, Leigh, and tell me sort of how it came about and your experience in doing the whole thing as well.
Well, the experience, I think, was cold fingers for the most of it.
Yes.
Cold fingers, especially for Spud there.
What time of the year was it?
It was December.
Okay, yeah.
Very, very, very smart.
Fair enough.
I had a seasonal flu for about a month and a half after doing some of those things, but anyway, it was well worth it. I just like the shots. I think I used to live up by Rathfarnham there, and that's on the way to the Dublin Mountains. So we took a trek up there, and when the sun's out, it's great, but when it's not, it's not ideal. So I just had I had an idea just to do a couple of these scenes. What's a Loch Tay, is it? We tried to do it at Loch Tay, but we couldn't get the whole crew over. We actually got stopped by, I think there's owners to Loch Tay or whatever. But we had to improvise. So me and the boys went up, and where did we stop? I think. I mean, there was a part in the clouds or something, and it was basically impromptu. Most of the scenes that you see there are impromptu, and the scene with this kind of sun in the background, that was totally off the cuff, because we went up just to finish a couple of scenes, and the sun went in and said, "Listen, it's not going to look the same or whatever." So we just went further up the hill. It was even colder, and it was covered in water. And Spud had the camera there, covered in water. I don't know what it was,
deep in
2 degrees or something, muck. In the trenches, but
proper realism though, like you
it worked out quite well.
There was no acting in that at all. It was just
yeah.
There was no good art that day at all. You know, they had behind the scenes like a camera crew shooting the camera crew. It was basically just me, knee deep, and Buck shooting Leigh doing his thing. You know?
There was no press record, because it would have been murder.
Oh, it was just a band. Did you not have anybody to man the camera or anything?
Oh no, we take care of ourselves. We've a couple of friends and whatever.
Yeah.
Two lads.
I have the camera and all that stuff. I sort out the editing and most anyways. Yeah. I have the gear for that. So they would have been friends or whoever was in the house at the time, or just another musician friend who's here. Do you want to hold the camera, teach him how to focus, and then blast off? I'll sort out the rest.
So you seem to do a lot, Leigh. I mean, you're doing the music videos. You're planning out the music video. I take doing all the sort of scenes and stuff, and editing at home.
Yeah.
Writing music, managing a band, booking the gigs, doing all the promo. How are you managing
working
that?
a 9 to 5 then.
What do you do 9 to 5, man? What's your 9 to 5?
That was a joke.
Oh, okay. Because I mean,
it's impossible. It's impossible. It can't be done.
Probably is. I mean, it wouldn't be surprised though. Like, I know there's some people that are just able to just warhorse themselves on 4 hours sleep. Let's say, you know, apparently 4% of the world can survive on like less than 6 hours sleep. I think, or something I read.
I'm
not one of those.
I don't know whether I'm surviving or be dying after 3 nights of 4 hours sleep. But
yeah, I think death might be a thing like in a few years to worry about. Like, because I think our bodies can't do less than 8 regularly. Some can, but like you'd know, man. You'd be in bits. Like
people have to sleep faster, man. You know.
Yeah, that's it. Rack up the REM quicker. You know, get into that
that's
REM
it.
mode. But how do you manage all this kind of stuff? Like how
I just learned. I mean, I say that I wouldn't be young. I'm young enough, but I spent the best part of 15 years doing this. Like, so spent 15 years doing 8, 10, 12 hours something most days. You're gonna get good at it.
Yeah.
So I just picked it up. Sure, in the metal scene, like, we kind of realized that, you know, it might be a bit of a stagnant scene, and maybe we should get out of it, because we can write other things, as you know, and we can do hip hop and we're doing pop and alternative stuff now. But eventually a time just came around and said, lads, it's going nowhere, and people, they're not offering you opportunities that you can even, I mean, in the metal scene, there's only a couple of competitions where you can get support slots for bands or festival things, and I don't know. You have to delve out a rake of money to the select few people in Ireland that will help you out.
Yeah, it's definitely a steeper curve in that scene than in others, you know, that we've seen in our experience anyway. And I mean, you know, if you compare that to, I don't know what the UK is like. Obviously, the current circumstances notwithstanding, but if you look at, you know, back through the years, look at maybe Germany, or look at, you know, parts of mainland Europe even, where the scenes for hard rock and metal music and the likes are quite strong. And you know, you do have you know, we've met bands that have come over here from cities like Berlin and Barcelona and stuff like that, and the scenes seem to be, you talk to these guys and girls, and the scene seems to be, you know, quite strong and quite supported there, you know, even at a grassroots level, which is great, absolutely. But you know, if you want to abide that, you know, the options are really limited. You're going to have to maybe up your 4 or 5 band members and move there, you know, which is a a big deal, you know.
Yeah, so it's around 24 we started to cop on, and you said, all right, so we're going to buy our own recording studio, or we're going to record everything ourselves. So, then that moved on to our own video equipment, and just kind of doing it all ourselves, pushing it all out ourselves. Financially, it's great because it's a major investment.
Yeah.
And I just think it prospers us because I always know what I want. I don't have to rush it. I'm not losing a lot of money. Not that matters, but yeah, eventually, so you kind of have to do all these things yourself. I was quite good at the production from an early age now. But, as far as kind of the media and all that went, that was kind of a learning curve there the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think it's a good way to do it, man. And a lot of artists are doing it nowadays, obviously, you know, self-managing and doing all that stuff themselves and bringing on the odd person, right? A friend or whatever to do any extra little bits like, you know, hold the camera or however when we were talking about that. So, but also because like if you do need to hire someone, right, you know how much they're worth to pay. Like, let's say you need to go that next level, you know, well, dude, yeah.
Of course, yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's a good point too. You keep control, and you know, don't get me wrong in saying, but you know, you keep creative control around your work, and it remains fun because of that. You know, at the end of the day as well. You're not.
We just didn't want to slack on content either, you know, because if you're building a wall, like these are bricks, you have to put, you know. So that's why there'll be a music video to pretty much every single we put out, and there'll be a lot of effort put into it. It's there forever, you know. If you go and you record this thing in your iPhone and you put it out, and I mean, a lot of artists are just looking for the viral thing now, and that does them a thing on an iPhone and blah blah blah. I just like the kind of polished, finished product, even though we're unsigned and we're pretty much, well, I wouldn't say in the trenches, but we're the same as everyone else. But I love putting out a top quality product with the song as well. Of course, the music's the most important, but yeah, I won't ever veer from that. Anything subpar is just gotta go.
Yeah, which is great because then, like you're saying as well, you are in control of that. So if something is subpar to you, you didn't spend any money. You just waste, maybe not waste. I wouldn't even say wasted time because you would have learned from that anyway. That's an education, right? So
very good.
So that's great. Yeah. So
learned.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've gone through all this. You know, this is not just stuff we've decided on overnight. You know, this has been a process since me and you, Leigh, started working together 10, 12 years ago. You know, we've gone through the pitfalls, we've gone through all the drawbacks, etc. You know, we found these things out the hard way sometimes. You know.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. You know.
It's great. It's the only way to succeed, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you guys seem like a good team. Like, obviously, you're 10 years working together and stuff. Like, how did you guys meet? Was it fate? Was it how does it? Do you remember how that?
I'll let you take that one, Leigh, in case I say something.
And you expect me to remember? Woo!
10 years, quite a while, I suppose. Yeah.
It's not the 10 years what we were doing 10 years ago.
Well, this is uncensored, so you can say whatever you want.
And I would, you know me. You know. It's early. How did we meet? Our bass player, who I'm childhood friends with. I grew up in Courtown with Gary, our old metal bass player. He went to. Was he doing a course with you, or he just went to college with you?
I was in college with him, but I never.
Yeah.
So that was kind of how that went. Yeah.
And just the wind came about that he was a cracking drummer, and sure, he brought him to one of the sessions, one of the nights, and the rest is history, pretty much. Awesome. We've been like glue ever since. It just works. We don't even have to. He's probably the only musician that I've been with in 10 years that I don't even have to. Once we go on stage, I don't even have to look at him.
And that's great for him being a drummer, right? He's the spine of the show, and you can't look at your own spine, right? So it kind of makes sense. I don't know how. I just literally just.
I've tried.
I'll be back in a sec.
Yeah. Getting into the yoga or something. Yeah, one of those things.
Yeah. It wouldn't be yoga sport to be getting into, but anyway.
But it's great. Like, it's actually great to have that as well, because like even as a duo, like to kind of bang ideas off with somebody else or just a brainstorm. It's always good to have that person you can sort of rely on and be real with and be honest with, right? So good.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Tell us a little bit.
Honesty is key.
Yeah, that's it. Tell us a little bit about your recent recent single that we played on Saturday on the show, "The Life and the Soul." Tell us a little bit about how that came around. And
it's actually a rehash of an agriculture song, which is our own metal band. I think you can find it on YouTube somewhere. This is back in 2014, I believe we put it out, but it was not a metal song, but it was kind of part of a metal album. It was kind of like a rock ballad, you would say. And our bass player at the time, we were practicing for an acoustic gig there in the Landmark there in Wexford Street, just before all this kicked off. So we were pretty much getting rid of the backing track and down and everything. And Timmy just said, "This is a great song. Strip back, full frontal, whatever." So I just went back and I had a look at it. I sussed out the chords, and pretty much the rest was history. I spent the next 2 weeks trying to, I don't know, reinvigorate it, I suppose. I put new verses on it, and I just made it more of a kind of standard pop song or whatever. That's pretty much where it came from. It's an old song. I mean, we have 30 plus new songs in the pipeline to come, but it just felt right, and it was easy, and we got the video done, and we just we notched it out in about 2 weeks, and that was it.
So I'd just say to that as well, and not to blow our own trumpet, but I think that's a testament of a good song, you know, that you can go back to it a long, 5 years later and tear it back down and reconstruct it in another genre, if you like. So the raw material there was solid, you know, and that's what I always come back to with the stuff that comes through to us from Leigh with, the Dropbox and any ideas and scratch tracks he has, we don't use all of them. That wouldn't be realistic, but there's quite often very good stuff, so it's a constant stream of, as Leigh said, 20-30 songs are sitting there.
It's great. It's great. Are we expecting any songs as well, like next month, or are you going to release them slowly, or are you still kind of figuring out?
No, sure, there's no gigs as we know, there's no gigs this year, so again, we use the word streamline, and we'll be streamlining our singles now as fast as we can get them out. See, there's a lot to our videos, so I'll be probably hanging off a van now in about 2 weeks. Doing the moonwalk or something.
Because you got to change it up, right? Yeah, it can't just be like always.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You have to be creative, right? Yeah.
But I'm gonna, don't hold me to this now, but I hope 3 weeks we'll get the next one out.
Great.
And then every 3 or 4 weeks from then on, for pretty much for the rest of the year, until we can get word of when we can do our debut show, or indeed gig, which I think is going to be next year.
It looks like it. Yeah.
What else can you do?
Just on that as well, you're hearing a lot about, obviously we're into whatever phase of lifting this damn thing now at the moment, but I'm sure everyone that's listening, and you guys are the same, but I'm really holding out hope that there's a kind of a pent up kind of want to go out and see gigs there, regardless of the style of music, or whether it's a mate of your cousin's band or whatever it is, but just to go out and whatever the pub or the venue looks like, even to just have that to look forward to, go out and see, you realize how much you've been missing it, really. I'm just hoping that when we do get a time frame or whatever it might be, that we can reach enough people in advance, and
more people will be inclined to go to the gig. I think people have taken it for realizing perhaps that some have taken music for granted, right? Live music. I think I have to many extents as well. There's many artists that I haven't seen, or many tickets that I didn't buy to go see, and I'm definitely one of those people, I'll admit. So I think it could increase ticket sales, right? Yeah, more people will tend to go to more gigs.
Of course.
Here's hoping.
Where are we now? I lost you there. It's been a blessing to us personally, because what do we have? Three singles out now. So we're kind of how are we gonna fill out a room on 3 singles. So the more content we can put out there, it's grand. It's kind of benefited us more. So we can lash the stuff out there, and it'll be, hopefully by the end of the year, there'll be 10, 12 singles there that hopefully people like, and hopefully come back and sing to us.
They'll know the words by then anyway, right? After
pretty much
up with them. And also, I mean, maybe you guys would be interested in because obviously there's phases of this restriction, right? I mean, would you ever do like the live stream sort of stuff? Is that something that you have thought about, or is that something that's not really your
No, it's never really I'd just be focused on releasing singles.
It's different, right? Because you guys are like how we spoke about at the start of this chat. You guys are. There's an energy that you guys like to capture. Leigh, both of you are on the same kind of wavelength on that. With the power, you just don't get that through a screen. You can't get that through a screen. So I totally get
pretty
that.
much.
Listen, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Sorry for the delay and
Thank
all
you,
that
sir.
stuff. I'd
No
like
worries
to
at all.
play before I let you go. Though I'd like to play. I was thinking of playing the song that the music video from the Wicklow Experience. What do you think? Or do you just want me to play?
Yeah, if you want.
I think that'd be
Yeah,
great to
yeah.
show. I played your recent one on Saturday already.
Yeah, yeah.
And people would have heard that, which was awesome, by the way. And I did check out I had the video lined up for it, and I was like, well, we chatted about the Wicklow one as well. I thought it was just fantastic. And
Yeah, great, man.
it's
Work away.
unique. Is there anything I can? Sorry, is there anything you guys would like to say to the viewers or your fans or people listening out there with regard to yourselves? AKA like a plug, whatever you know. Talk about your recent release, I suppose, and anything that you might have planned for the future or whatever like that. I'll let you guys close off with whatever you want to say.
No.
I was waiting for that. I was expecting Leigh to do that.
Keep your eye on us. We've a single every 3 weeks. We're awesome. Thanks very much, Dave.
Deadly.
Thanks, Dave.
Stephen,
Cheers, man.
that's it. Yeah, we're leaving it at that.
That's it, man. We'll leave it at that.
Listen,
That's
guys.
it. We'll see you soon, right? Well
Yeah.
done on what you've started here.
Absolute
Right.
pleasure. Thank you so much, guys.
Glad
Right,
you-
take it easy.
yeah.
Good luck.
All right, see you, man. Take care.
See you later, brother.
Bye.
All right, so that was Leigh and Stephen from Tapped, and that was our first guest today. I had an absolutely lovely time catching up with the guys. I've seen them a good few times live in Sinead Crystal Skull sessions. And yeah, they released their recent single, The Life and Soul, but they have a which is really good. And this is their third single only. They've only come together last year under this name. And yeah, they're doing really good. I think they're great. So what is let me just think now. I believe it is Everything Before, Everything After. It's the song. Okay guys, so enjoy Everything Before, Everything After.
We last another day,
Tapped.
but days are all the same. I'll take a photo just to catch you in the morning ride. I want all night again to keep you innocent. I'll tell you everything before we throw it all away. I feel alright. You're looking good tonight. 'Cause what you're watching me, I'll never explain. It's all
All right, so that was Tapped with Everything Before and Everything After. That froze at the end there, so yeah, I'm getting all these issues today. It's crazy. It's crazy, but there is going to be some massive improvements next week, guys. So I guess it's been a while since I've had these issues, but it's so frustrating doing this 2 months and you're still getting these little silly things. But I think I should have it all fixed by Saturday. But yeah, anyway, first guest, that was Leigh O'Reilly and Stephen Murphy. Leigh being the singer and songwriter of Tapped, and Stephen being the drummer. And yeah, absolutely lovely bunch of guys. It was great to open up the show with them. So yeah, cheers for tuning in, guys. Who's out there? Give us a hello. Let me know how you're enjoying the show so far. I hope these little hiccups aren't deterring you from the show. But we've got a nice healthy amount of viewers, so that's great. So thanks for tuning in. We got Ado Mac, go on the lads. We got Hannah Parker saying hello. So we got a couple on YouTube and we have a few on Facebook as well. So welcome everybody. We've got 2 more fantastic guests, and we're going to get some live performances from these guests as well today. So we're going to get some nice music. Oh, there we go. Now I got the chat open. Okay, great. Lovely. Lindy Lou, great stuff. Lovely Jubbly. Barry J. Hughes, great interview, great attitude and approach to the music industry. Yes, I agree with you there, man. Lucian, great stuff. Great. Anna, love the video clip. Yeah, great music video to a great song, and fair play to the lads for putting in all that effort, and it's all themselves. So it's great to be able to manage yourself, and a lot of musicians do that. A lot of musicians are doing it themselves these days, and it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. Let me see if I can just 1 second there. Okay, so I'm gonna play another bit of music before I introduce our next guest, and yeah, I'm actually gonna do our pick of the week as well. So before I do, anyway, I'm gonna introduce our next bit of music, and this is by the Blue Messiah, and he's an independent home-produced artist, and he draws his influence from many places. Some are Mood to Swing, Tom Misch, and Bobby Caldwell. I wish I knew those. I actually don't know them, so sorry about that. I wish I knew those influences. If anybody else knows that's viewing, please, you are able to scold me for not knowing. His lyrics are inspired by the dynamic journey of a relationship, and he plans to venture into many different genres into the future. And his single, which he's given us the exclusive to, is coming out on the 12th of June. And we're getting a little exclusive, and it's called War, and it's featuring Matthew Redmond. So thank you for the exclusive. It's always nice to get the exclusives.